The Silent Patient is a psychological thriller which was released in July 1920 and it took the publishing industry by storm. It said that it sold over 3 million copies, which cements its position as a book that cannot be ignored, but the book did get mixed reviews. Honestly, when I read the book, I also had mixed feelings about it. It's a murder mystery that seems very simple and straightforward in the beginning, but then slowly becomes more and more complex as the story progresses. Alex Michaelides, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, is a British author, but the book reads more American in its form and narration. Maybe that's because a part of Alex's formal education happened in America, and that's why that tone sets in. Unlike most of the other novels of this genre, in which the story branches, becomes more complex, grows, evolves, and by the end of it gives us a set of mysteries that are to be solved, this particular story sticks to one single question from the beginning till the end. It also keeps making strong references throughout the story to a particular Greek myth, but honestly, I think it didn't really make any difference in the story. The story would have read exactly the same even if the myth was not even mentioned once. There are no peels to be peeled off as we see in that particular myth. There's no comment of the selfless nature of love or the selfish nature of love or what can one do to save oneself to the people whom he or she loves. Those things you have to sit and think about. They don't spring off the pages of the book as I would have wanted them. The book does try to comment on the idea that how humans can behave when they are threatened with death or when they're threatened to be killed. But and like most of the other novels of this genre, if I pick up Agatha Christie or any other book from acclaimed books from this genre, even Joel Dicker's book, which is one of my top favorite books of all times, they always pivot the whole crime on one particular idea, and then that idea comes very strongly through at the end of the book. If I pick up Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, the idea that on which the whole story pivots is that how do you judge the people who have committed crimes which cannot be proven in court. So that and the whole essence of that particular idea hits you very strongly when the book ends. But somehow that kind of feeling I didn't get in this book, though there was an attempt, but it didn't hit me like that. Most of the acclaimed crime fiction are not just mere stories or mysteries to be solved or unfolded. They actually make comments on certain ideas or certain issues that exist there, certain questions which no one can find answers to, and that's why they work so well, and that's why they have their appeal the way they do. But this book didn't really reach there. The book has a strong beginning, but then it drags on for a huge length of the book, and then towards the end it picks up again. And I have to add, there is actually a jaw-dropping twist at the end. Now, I am a very naive reader. I don't really, I'm never able to guess what will happen and the who done it thing, which a lot of my friends can very easily guess. But for me, it's always a surprise. And this was a surprise, which was, I was like, okay, that I didn't see coming. But that happens only in the last 50 pages of the book. So if you are willing to read like around 200 to 250 pages of a book with only 50 pages that will really satisfy you, then you should think of picking this book up. If you have a thing for crime fiction, and if you really want to know what's selling these days and which are the marker books of our time, then this is definitely a book. But if you're very selective and choosy about the books that you read, then maybe you need to think before picking this book up. But in my opinion, yes, it's fun in parts and it's not fun in parts. Maybe read the beginning, speed read the rest of the thing, and then read the last 50 pages, or just simply read the first 50 pages and the last pages, and then you're done. But that's a call up to you to make. This is one book which somehow I finished, but even if I want to, I cannot give it out as a strong recommendation. Have you guys read this book? What are your thoughts? What are your opinion? I know this book is a huge favorite of many, and some people just hate it. So if you've read it, I would love to have your opinion and comments as well. Until next time, cheers.